Distinguished guests, the event is about to start. Please take your seat and turn your mobile phones to the silent mode. Thank you very much.掌声有请 Oppo 创始人兼首席执行官陈明勇。Please welcome founder and CEO of Oppo, Tony Chen.
各位来宾，各位朋友，
Dear guests, friends, and media guests from here in China and internationally, nice to see you again. Last year, at this same venue, we had the first year of Oppo Inno Day 2019. At that time, I was holding prompt cards, and today I follow that practice, but I hope I will not refer to them that much. But in general, I don't think I'm one with good memory, so possibly I'll have to go back to them. Well, in that year's Oppo Inno Day, we proposed the concepts of the Internet of Experience. And now, in our second iteration, I'd like to share with you 2 points. First, Oppo has upgraded our technology development strategy based on our exploration of the key underlying technologies in the industry. Second, at Oppo, we emphasize that we perceive technology as a means to make people's lives better. And after my parts, 2 of my colleagues will introduce you to a couple of concept products delivered by Oppo. Well, I'd like to start with a very quick tests. How many of you are born in the 80s or 90s? Please show your hand. All right, I think 80% of the audience are actually born in the 80s or 90s. So for you guys born in the 80s or 90s, you may not have seen a life in which technology is underdeveloped, right? Or technology is not so advanced. I agree. I actually lived that time. 40 years ago, I was living in the countryside of Sichuan province, to be more specific, in the northwestern part of Sichuan, in a very remote area. Li Bai, China's very famous romantic poet, once wrote describing that place, and I remember them very clearly. Namely, when riding horses in the mountain roads there, the mountain rises before people's face, the clouds rise from the horse's head. I think that perfectly describes the situation in my hometown. Namely, we have mountains in a remote area. Things were somehow quite backward in development. So I'd like to start with a few stories that took place in my hometown. It's a very challenging task to grow crops in that place. every year we have to grow paddy rice. To grow paddy rice, the water is definitely very precious. Usually, May and June are the month of the dry season. So at that time, we have diverted water from a very distant reservoir, making sure that the crops can survive. But it's a very difficult thing to divert water, because every time you have to make sure that there is a ditch to divert water. The bottom of the ditch was leveled, and also the sides of the ditch should not be actually holes. So it was a very challenging and tasking job. Not all of those people were willing to bear that burden. Some villagers, not willing to do that, actually waited for others to drag the water, and then, secretively, they dug a hole in the ditch near their fields to divert water. You could imagine that as long as it happened and was noticed by others, people would end up with disagreements, disputes, and even fights. And that happened every year and has been quite common. There are also some small things. For example, stealing trees from other villagers' land and planting them in their own homes. So there are a lot of these very small deeds. For the majority of the locals, these are really insignificant. At that time, I was less than 10 years old. Then, how did it impress me? I thought, though things were not harmonious, though things were not good at all, I observed these people at close quarters, and I think most of these people had goodness within them. But that goodness has been suppressed because of underdeveloped economy or some other reasons. Thereby, just to take advantages of others, they were willing to use ruthless and dishonest means. While that's the environment for my upbringing during my formative years, and I thought things at that time were really opposite to what I would like to be. And that memory is still fresh on my mind. So I began to think that there must be another alternative, another possibility, so that we can have a better result instead of having something that is so troubled and disputed. So that has been my aspiration early on in my life. And after, when I was 15 years old, starting my senior schooling, I met the father of one of my classmates, who was at that time a construction contractor. While contractors nowadays are quite similar in nature with those 40 years back, because to most people, contractors are making profits by actually withholding wages and lengthening the working hours of those workers. But the father of my classmates was not like that at all. I observed that he respected all those who had business relationship with him. He was a very considerate man. A lot of people were willing to work with him, and his business was actually thriving. He was one of the wealthy lots at that time in my village, and that also left me a great impression. And it really touched me. In real life, this is another possibility, that is generating a better, more harmonious results. Then I went to college. In Hangzhou, actually. At that time, I liked reading a lot. And I read in books about a legendary businessman in history in Hangzhou. He did business in a way that was always to help others succeed first, even at his own expense. And he didn't really mind that. This legendary businessman reminded me of the contractor I met whilst at high school, because they were going to extremes to be considerate to others, to make sure that all people could win in the end. Thereby, the stories of the individuals I met in life and that of the one in the book together led to some very, very deep impressions and memories in my mind. And I became more convinced that whether it's in life or in business, we don't have to rely to, say, deceitful and ruthless measures. Instead, we can use better ways to deliver even greater results. Alright, that's a recap for my schooling years. In 1992, I graduated and went southward to Guangdong province and then joined BBK Electronics. I'm sure you know about this company. A company that is taking honesty and 本分 as the cultural DNA. It has for long been pursuing the mantra of altruism and reciprocity for all. And also, the culture of 本分 at BBK has been evolving. In the early days, it's really about answering what you should do and whether you have done what you should do. Then, on top of that, it evolved to emphasize holding on to one's own belief. Despite influence of the externality and profit motives, we should actually go back to the nature of things and really think about doing the right thing. So 本分 is really about capturing nature of things, to have a long-term vision without being tempted by short-term gains. Let me just quote you a quick example. In 2008, Oppo began its journey in producing mobile phones, still in the era of feature phones. Do you remember our first phone? Yes, the smiley face mobile phone with the code of A903. Well, I think a lot of you, even a lot of those, especially those internationally, may not know that brand and would know that particular model. Well, 2 years before that model was launched in the market, we made our decision of producing a mobile phone. It was our first endeavor. We were actually trying to hone that in a way so that we could accumulate a lot of experiences. We couldn't just actually produce one, launch it in markets, and was disfavored by the market. We had to make sure that this model would be well received by the market. Thereby, we had our trial version. In a way, it took us 1.5 years in R&D. Its design, its user experience, once put into the market, really put it in the leading pack amongst the mainstream phones in the market. And our customers urged us to launch the product in the markets because they like to actually use this model to turn out greater profits for them. I think some of you might be doing that back then, since you're still our customers. But we held to our product because we wanted to produce the most amazing product. It took us another half a year to redesign the product, to tweak on the smaller details of the design. At that time, we actually set a record of the slowest launch of a feature phone. But it was proven to be a very successful choice. That smiley face mobile phone was put in the markets, and in half a year, it was sold by more than 1 billion units. What a miracle, right? It was greatly received by the market.
On top of that, some other words on 本分. We are wary of the dangers posed by short-term emotional provocations, in particular in the fears for competition. When someone throws stones at you, will you pick the stone up and throw them back? Our attitude at Oppo is as follows. If the two companies throw stones at each other just to fight against each other in the words or terminology of internet era, what would other people view these two guys? So I think that the onlookers will feel that both these two guys or companies are not good. So our view is that you would only end up ruining your own reputations if you only satisfy your short-term emotional needs, you'll be looked upon by others. Short-term emotional satisfaction is nothing more than a fleeting moment of pleasure. But in the end, it won't make any real difference. The most you get out of the short-term behavior is short-term gains. But the most you lose is long-term losses, or even losing it all. For Oppo, competition is not necessarily a life or death struggle. Even in the most competitive industry, you will not necessarily have to fight without decency. So one Go master came to my mind, Mr. Go Seigen. He is a great master in the Chinese and Japanese Go industry. He made one very impressive quote by saying that you surround your own territory while I surround mine. Without a fight, results will become very clear. So, we don't need to have vicious competition. Even among the peers or players in the same industry, we can compete with decency. I heard about this quote from the disco master 15 years ago, and it really impressed me even today. That's why we believe firmly that vicious competition is not only not good, nor is it the true nature of commerce. Looking back to the original purpose, we will realize that technology is for human progress, and not for winning at any cost, nor for plundering by any means. This is exactly how Oppo views competition in commerce. Our view is that we strive for good rather than only winning. This is the view of competition at Oppo. Well, we also notice that at present, competition today on science research tends to be all about competition. People often seem to be forced to innovate, not aiming to better serve their users, but because they feared being eliminated by the competition. This is a kind of fearful innovation. But this approach of innovation is regarded as fearful innovation or an outdated approach. I think this outdated approach suited the agriculture age, when people strived to live. You always want to be at the peak. We compete on specs. If you don't use our products, you're outdated. In terms of competition, you need to crush your competitors across the board. This is an expression of the fearful innovation. Personally, to a certain extent, you still have to resort to dishonest and useful means of competition in the fearful innovation. But is this the way innovation is supposed to be? Should a company innovate for fearful purposes? In this case, Oppo is starting to revisit the fact, the initial purpose of a tech company. I would like to share with you two thinkers or philosophers. First is from the East, the other is from the West. The philosopher or thinker from the East is Mr. Wang Yangming. The one from the West is Kant. In the Yangmingism philosophy, there is a saying or concept, realizing virtue through action. It tells us to remove selfish distraction and utilitarianism in order to recognize the conscience in our heart, so that the instinctive wisdom of the conscience can be reviewed and the power of goodness can be brought into play to do what is right and what is necessary. Only in this way can you tell the true and real direction of your life. Let's look at what the German philosopher Immanuel Kant said in his famous book. He said, "Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of another, always at the same time as an end and never simply as a means." It sounds very ambiguous, right? So simply put, it just means that people are the end, not the means. You see, these two great philosophers from the East and West have a common ground in their thinking. At this point, their thoughts converged. They share a great common ground. That is, if you want to be established yourself, you need to establish others. You need to help others to grow before growing yourselves. Therefore, in Oppo, we believe in technology for mankind and kindness for the world. In our understanding, technology for mankind, kindness for the world indicates technology is just a means, while people are an end. The purpose of corporate innovation should be people. This is exactly what Oppo has been doing for its technological innovation. We carry out virtuous innovation. What is a virtuous innovation? Oppo uses technology to empower people to capture the beauty around them and to unleash their imagination of the future, thereby helping everyone to get the best out of their lives. Take Oppo's attitude towards the flash charge technology as example. This is a very good explanation of the virtuous innovation we carried out. In the early days, flash charging used low voltage, high current method, but it was very costly. After our continuous evaluation, we find out that it is much faster than other technical solutions and it is safer. Another unique feature is that it can allow the users to play with the handset while charging. All of them are in line with the needs of the consumers. The only shortcoming is its high cost. So we stick to this approach or solution. It is because of our adherence that we come up with a solution that you can charge for only 5 minutes and then you can use your phone to talk for 2 hours. It is because of our adherence and perseverance that we become the leader in this technical solution. With technical means, we also minimize the charging head, which is similar to the biscuit. This product will be launched next month. That's why we start our innovation from the perspective of users all the time. Today, Oppo has entered the stage of the Internet of Experience, and its technology strategy is continuously improving. In this context, we would like to introduce Oppo's 3+N+X technology development strategy for the first time. I'll give you a snapshot, and the head of our research institute will give you more elaborations. The 3 refers to 3 technology development projects, namely underlying hardware, software, and service technologies. All of these technologies will become the technical foundation for Oppo's long-term development. They will help Oppo to produce the best intelligent hardware products to bring an integrated smart life to users and to provide customized smart services to consumers. N refers to several essential capabilities that Oppo have long been working on, including artificial intelligence, AI, interconnectivity, and security and privacy, as well as multimedia. X refers to Oppo's differentiated technologies, which include imaging technology, flash charging technology, and new form factors, new form designs. With the 3+N+X technology development strategy, Oppo hopes that it will not only enable users living in metropolises to acquire the latest technological experience, but also empower villagers in my hometown in rural Sichuan province to enjoy the beauty of technology. I really hope that my town guys and village guys will also enjoy the benefits and beauty of technology. Dear friends, at Oppo, we always want to be driven by the prospect of a better future and act out of excitement and benevolence. Oppo doesn't want to see algorithms drive away human emotions. Oppo doesn't want to detach itself from the interconnected world. This is not our choice. We stand ready to work with our eco-partners to achieve a win-win scenario. This is exactly what we choose. Oppo hopes to become a truly great brand. For good or virtuous is Oppo's conscious choice. It is a force of culture. It is our wholehearted belief as a good idealist. Oppo has always respected equal individuality of every person, regardless of how old you are, where you come from, nor your ethnicity. We believe in the choice for good and hopes to create a world of goodness and beauty through its innovation and values. Thank you very much.
掌声有请 OPPO 副总裁、研究院院长刘畅。Please welcome Vice President, Head of Oppo Research Institute, Levin Liu.
Dear friends from the media, dear partners, good afternoon. I'm Levin Liu from the Oppo Research Institute. It is a great pleasure to meet you all. Just now, Tony, with his own experiences and stories, shared with you technology for mankind and kindness for the world. I believe that many stories are very relevant to all of you. The next part is also exciting, so please stay tuned. We want to keep you relevant and keep our stories relevant to you and to your life and work. The Inno Day is a grand annual gatherings between Oppo and our good friends to explore the future trends in science and technology. Last year, we hosted the very first Oppo Inno Day, which has been received very well in the industry. It is a great pleasure for me again to meet you again. As is all know that the unexpected epidemic of COVID-19 disrupted our life and work. It gave us more thinking into the role of technologies, as Tony mentioned, technology for mankind. During the pandemic period, we are very glad to see that many technologies show value and goodwill, such as remote temperature measurement, video conference, and telecommunicating have helped us to gain conveniences in our life and work. It also helped us to restore the order of work.
At the beginning of this year, Oppo also established an R&D team specifically to contribute our bits to winning the battle against the pandemic based on accumulation in the technology of AI, as well as leveraging the public data sets of China, we have developed a specific set of Oppo COVID-19 computer-aided detection research platform. While when used in public test sets, it can achieve a 99.76% accuracy rate for identification. We will freely donate this platform to medical institutions in need, making sure that we have a rapid and effective screening tool for the diagnostics in epidemic control and prevention that is now becoming more regular. Oppo hopes that with this, we can actually offer our contribution to the greater health of more people. Researchers at Oppo will continue to be led by the mantra of technology for mankind, kindness for the world, to use technology innovation so that we have a closer, more harmonious relationship between people, devices, and scenarios. Technology is the foundation for Oppo's long-term vision. Last year at our Inno Day, we proposed a new ecosystem of 5G as well as the Internet of Experiences and share with you our interconnected technology structure, namely devices, data, computing, services, and scenarios will forge a unified tech system which is supported by telecom and AI to offer extreme and great technological experiences for users. Over the last 1 year, we have been adhering to fostering this strategy of technology. Even during the epidemic, we have not stopped our input on R&D as well as introduction of new talents. So back to this one, 3 plus N plus X. This is Oppo's technology development strategy in the era of the Internet of Experience. This is also the priority in R&D for Oppo in the coming stage. 3 represents the 3 technology programs of Oppo, or the 3 underlying technologies supporting our company. The first technology is the underlying hardware technology. For long, telecommunications and computing have propelled the development of technologies and improved user experiences. Oppo's underlying hardware technology is actually centered on telecom as well as computing techs. For one, besides traditional cellular communication technologies, we're also laying our research footprint on short-distance wireless telecoms. Based on single-device connection, we're also working on multi-device connectivity experiences in verticals such as smart homes so that digital world is within reach, giving people the freedom of connectivity. Second, with the future of massive business volume, fragmented scenarios, and personalized user demands, we work on the R&D of device and compute, making sure that the computing resources are always online and can be flexibly allocated so that users can feel the ubiquitous convenience in a considerate manner. We hope that these efforts at consolidating our underlying hardware technology can guarantee Oppo in designing the best possible intelligence hardware products. The second is underlying software technology. With the componentization of system architecture, basic software shared by multiple users, multiple devices, and one-stop engineering platforms, Oppo can have rapid software engineering for multiple devices, scenarios, and markets, and also through a comprehensive software system structure with distributed collaboration, device cloud integration, and service convergence. We can have intelligent service also for different devices, scenarios, and services. Software is our hub. It can have downward compatibility with our hardware ecosystem and upward support to our applications ecosystem with collaboration of various ecosystems in this industry so that we can have a very powerful fundamental underlying software capability. The third is about services, which is a solid foundation for us to offer internet services. It involves cloud computing, big data, machine learning, as well as smart or intelligent services in way of platform offerings. These 4 technological capacities work together in a collaborative manner to cover the full spectrum of data collection, storage, withdrawal, and usage to improve the value of data. While cloud computing is the basis so that the devices can actually hold more data in a flexible way of expansion in terms of computing, storage, and network, while the big data capacity is working in tandem with machine learning so that the value of the data can be progressed from analytics and presentation to insights and prediction, and finally to assistance in decision making so that data is elevated from a cost center to a center of profit. Smart services capacity is working on the basis of cloud computing, big data, as well as machine learning to use a full spectrum of data resources to build virtual assistants, AI boards, and other new gateways, and also to empower developers. We hope that, and also we believe that with our unique data resources industry experiences of Oppo, with the aggregation of these underlying service technologies, we can build our strength in data, so that besides hardware and software, we can also have dataware to have the capabilities spill over in data. Now we have a daily application distribution of 1.7 billion, service daily application distribution of 330 million, and also MOU of contents of over 280 million. And supporting these high numbers is actually our service capability. In the 3+N+X technology development strategy, N stands for our essential technological capabilities, which includes AI, privacy and security, multimedia, and interconnectivity. Well, just look at interconnectivity. Heithing's IoT platform offers one-stop access scenario for developers so they can share hundreds of millions of Oppo users and premium channel resources. Now Oppo has established partnerships with more than 30 brands, including Media and Ox. In future, it will actually invite more partners on board in our ecosystem. Car-machine interconnection is also one critical link in Oppo Connect interconnectivity. With the resource coordination and capacity transfer between cars and devices, we can now have functions such as senseless car key, remote car control, and intelligent screencast, so that a mobile phone is turned into a personal assistant in the scenario of mobility, providing users with agile, convenient, and safe experiences. X is all about Oppo's differentiated technologies, through which we can have disruptive innovation of products which will greatly improve user experiences. We will invest strategic resources in this regard to build a large hoard of technologies. Oppo Flash Charge is one technology like that, which is really about there's no going back. When you use it, you're going to love it. Since its first launch in 2014, Vook Flash Charge has always been promoting the innovation and popularization of fast charge technology. Oppo is the pioneer in direct charge architecture and a leader in high-power charge. In July this year, we launched the 125 watts Supervooc and 65 watts AirVooc, once again breaking the upper limit of charging power. At the same time, we were also wondering whether the principle of the higher, the better works for charging power. What are the other pain points for users when they're charging their phones? We found that miniaturization of adapter is an unmet user need. So recently, we launched Supervooc Mini Charger. This charger, which takes on a much smaller form, has been well received ever since its launch. A lot of people have been expecting that. And today, I'm pleased to announce to you that the Supervooc Mini Charger, which you have been waiting for so long, is finally coming to you. It will be officially in the markets on 12th of December. We hope that through the 3+N+X technology development strategy, with our firm belief in technology for mankind and kindness for the world, and also with our persistent investment in R&D, we're going to be leaving the hard task of tech development for us while trying to provide innovation experiences to users. We're finding that with the speedy development technology, as well as the exponential growth of smart devices applications, sometimes users are actually at a loss in finding about the interaction between humans and devices. The industry and Oppo has been uniformly eyeing out for AR, which is about new possibilities for human-machine interaction. Last year, we launched Oppo Ar glasses, the first foray into exploring the digital twin world. AR essentially is about the digital reconstruction of the physical world. Over the last 1 year, we have really pitching a lot of efforts in the means of interaction, content ecosystem, and underlying technical architecture of AR. And today, we are honored and pleased to update you on our latest progress in AR. And now, I'd like to give the floor to my colleague Wayne to provide you that part of the information. Thank you.
掌声有请 OPPO 研究院产品经理 Wayne. Please welcome Product Manager of Oppo Research Institute, Wayne.
Hello everyone, I'm Wayne, Product Manager of Oppo Research Institute. So welcome to join us in Oppo Inno Day 2020. Now, it will be my responsibility to update you on our progress in AR over the past 1 year. And first, I'm proud to present to you Oppo AR Glass 2021, our new AR glasses offering.
Oppo
AR Glass 2021 adopts a brand new split design form factor. As is known to all, the comfort of wearing a pair of AR glasses has always been on top of the mind of users. And this time, by using the brand new split design, we're giving a ultra lightweight structure to our AR glasses. Its weight compared with the last generation is reduced by almost 75%. That will surely give users a comfy wear. In the meantime, we also notice that different users are also different in terms of their head or nasal forms. So there are very nuanced personal preferences when wearing a pair of glasses. Thereby, a lot of the efforts are put into optimizing the ergonomic design. We have designed a replaceable 3DOF flexible nose support that can cover 90% of the nasal types of the population or of the users. Also, we have aligned with human body data to tweak the design of the glasses leg so that they can better fit with the head contour of the human body. The meticulous design of the nose support and glasses leg have greatly enhanced the comfort and steadiness of wearing Oppo AR Glass 2021, so everyone will feel still very comfortable after extended use of this pair of AR glasses. Besides, split design is not just actually strong in terms of the lightweight appearance. Also, it can greatly improve the overall performance of the glasses. By one USB cable connecting the glasses to the mobile phone, Oppo AR Glass can immediately receive the performance support from the very powerful mobile phone platform. While, for example, when used in tandem with Oppo Find X2 Pro, then its CPU and GPU performance can improve by more than 40% compared with the last generation of AR glasses. In the meantime, when connected to a mobile phone, there is going to be the benefits of more natural interaction. Any operation on the phone or any operation on the glasses can be done by the phone, whether it's for video streaming or gaming. Everything can be naturally and easily done in your most familiar handsets. While the change in the structural design inherently involves a radical shift in our internal component design, and there is across-the-board upgrade in this generation of AR glasses on hardware, optics, sensors, and interaction. Oppo AR Glass 2021 sports the brand new bird bath optical solution. Compared with the last generation of AR glasses, its image contrast is 53% higher, brightness uniformity up by 98%, and pixels per FOV degree by more than 40%, while ensuring ultimate display effect. We're also giving you a wide enough field of view. When using Oppo AR Glass for video streaming, it's like you're watching a 90-inch TV just 3 meters away. While for the more ultimate audiovisual effect, we're also riding a 94 square millimeter large amplitude speaker for Oppo Ar glass. So that's a 90-inch TV for visual, as well as the awesome sound effects brought by the large amplitude speaker. I'm sure this is as good as rivaling what it can be offered in a home theater. AR glasses are the gateway to the interaction of users with the virtual world. Thereby, the interactive experiences are highly critical. So, on a thin and light body, we pack a rich array of sensors so that users can use a more natural and authentic way to interact. Oppo AR glass sports a set of binocular fisheye cameras able to detect and track both hands within milliseconds. With predefined gestures, users can operate the AR glass with their hands. To more precisely detect and recognize gestures, we also have labeled and modeled 21 markers on each hand. For each finger, that is 4 markers, which means that even a slight movement of the user's finger can be captured by the glass, which will then lead on to very precise operations such as tapping on the menu or waving a page. In terms of spatial interaction, which is the spatial localization that we keep referring to, we've also made a lot of efforts.
Oppo Ar glass is equipped with Oppo's self-developed real-time spatial localization system, which consists of binocular, fisheye camera, and ToF camera. After the ToF camera conducts a scan of the surroundings and plane detection, the binocular fisheye cameras go on to capture the real-time live environment, conduct local mapping, and complete the spatial localization calculations within milliseconds, enabling centimeter-level accuracy within 1 degree. In this spatial localization system, the ToF camera can provide the accurate geometric structure surrounding the user at all times, while the binocular fisheye cameras consistently update and feedback the real-time locations of the user in a given space. These cameras work in tandem to enable authentic spatial perceptions in the AR world. Today, as the integration of software, hardware, and services have become increasingly close, content experience is very crucial for innovative products like the AR glass. However, the AR content is not a mere transfer or relocation of the regular or old content from the handset to a tablet, from computer to TV. Even the same content might have or give different experiences in different devices. So, the content of AR need to take into consideration the specific features of its hardware as well as a way of interaction. Hence, when we started to plan for the Oppo Ar Glass 2021, the exploration, trial, and collaboration of AR content was always a key task for us. We're very happy to let you know that we have worked with the AR teams of iQIYI and JD.com to bring innovative AR viewing experiences and AR home experience applications to Oppo Ar Glass 2021. iQIYI, XR, and JD AR. We have also included a number of applications in Oppo Ar Glass in gaming, education, and entertainment, such as the multiple player online battle arena, mobile game, AR tower defense games, AR English learning, AR camera, and AR gallery. And we are committed to further exploring in connecting smartphone content ecosystem and AR glasses to enable users to watch videos, listen to music, and read news through AR. Next year, we will gradually present this content and device experience to users through Oppo offline stores. We hope that Oppo will be the first bridge for users to learn about AR and the first window for AR content to face users. To be honest, however, AR content ecosystem is now still in its early stage. We therefore find it necessary to collaborate with industry partners to work together to bring this ecosystem to maturity and ultimately unleash the value of AR as a widely adopted technologies. That's why we need more partners to help us grow this ecosystem together. It is also my great pleasure today to announce that the Oppo AR Developer Program will be launched officially next year. In the first half of next year, we will begin our AR developer recruitment activities and hold developer saloons in cities such as Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. Then, in the second half of the next year, we will work with our industry partners to launch the developer support program and AR developer competition. In terms of technical support, we will provide an interface-rich and complete end-side SDK, as well as a development tool chain. This will be followed up with the Oppo Mobile AR and Oppo AR Glass platform to help developers save time and effort when creating high-value cross-device platforms for AR user experience. Oppo hopes to support developers and work with them to explore the infinite possibilities of future AR content and ecosystem. Please stay tuned for the Oppo AR Developer Program. AR is a whole new digital world that combines the real and virtual world. We hope that the launch of Oppo AR Glass 2021 will allow the users to get very unique technical experiences in the integrated world that combines the real and virtual scenarios. As mentioned earlier by Levin, Oppo wants to explore the seamless integration of the real and virtual world through AR. This ambition relies not only on hardware architecture, optical technology, SLAM algorithm, and more, but also on digital modeling, machine learning, computer vision, and even cloud and telecommunication, all of which is being worked on very hard by Oppo. Today, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Oppo's real-time spatial calculation AI application, Oppo CyberReal. Oppo CyberReal can take scenes and objects in the physical world, from the city with tall buildings to a street sign, and recreate them as a digital model in the virtual world. It can also observe and analyze the scenes through the sensors of devices to present richer digital information based on the physical world to users in the AR way. Next, I'm going to give you an overview of how CyberReal does it. First, to build the digital world, in essence, is to reconstruct the physical world with digital representations. For example, when we construct a digital version of the MIWC, a shopping mall, we collect data of the whole mall by manual filming. All the data is then integrated, tagged, and meticulously described to form a digital MIWC accurate to the millimeters, which empowers CyberReal to understand the digital world. Second, CyberReal has to perform high-precision localization in real time so that the digital twin instantly responds to every action the user takes. So, we incorporate data from multiple sensing technologies in CyberReal. The location is first estimated by considering the current status of GPS, IMU, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth information. Cameras and SLAM algorithms are then used to achieve even more accurate spatial localization. Finally, artificial intelligence enables smartphones with CyberReal to understand what it seems. This means within milliseconds, it can correctly identify the user's exact location within centimeters and 1 degree. Of course, smartphone is but one of many devices. Going forward, we would like to further explore more possibilities of integrating multiple devices, multiple sensors, and multiple models. Developing the core capabilities of CyberReal, which involves building digital twins and high-precision localizations, relies on Oppo storage, computing, and data transmission capabilities of the cloud. With users' permission, data self-repair can be achieved by updating cloud data in real time based on real-time user feedbacks.
Oppo
AR Glass 2021 and Oppo Cyber Real represent Oppo's exploration and technical deployment of the underlying hardware, software, and service technologies in the AR area. It is also a strategic step Oppo has taken to explore and accelerate integrated future scenarios for users. Looking into the future, we will continue to invest in this area and bring more integrated AR experience to you all. Thank you. Now I will give my mic back to Levin. Thank you, Winnie. AR incorporates new device forms and interactions that break down the boundaries of smart device usage, and we are all excited about its future. We believe that in the exhibition hall, you can experience the AR experiences that can be offered by Oppo solutions. We believe in the integrated scenarios in future. AR will not be the only super terminals, but will work symbiotically with smartphones at the core of our digital lives. In fact, under the guidance of Oppo's 3+N+X research strategy, an important part of this is to explore the future form of mobile phones. Why is form innovation so important? In our view, the breakthrough in form not only satisfies people's aesthetic desires, but it also brings more imagination in functionality and experiences. Over the past few years, centering on form factors of handset, there are a variety of solutions in the industry. The one most familiar to you is the foldable mobile phones. To fold the screen or display is the most common practice. We are always thinking, on top of folding the screen, are there any other solutions? With that in mind, I'm very delighted to share with you the latest achievement from Oppo's constant thinking for a new kind of mobile phone form factor, the Oppo X 2021 rollable concept handset. Please watch a video. In the video, you see the waves. The waves separate the screen. Do you think it is very elegant? It's very beautiful, right? The display is just rollable like a scroll. This is a new exploration of us on form factor, electric rollable screen. The unique charm is to give the freedom to the users, who can, as per their needs, adjust the size of the screens as they like. In this new concept, it's very hard for us to define the accurate size of this screen. In theory, it is variable. We can only say that the maximum size for this display is 7.4 inches. The minimum size is 6.7 inches. The width of the screen varies from 70 millimeters at the minimum to 107 millimeters when fully expanded. It is worth mentioning that with the rollable design and OLED flexible display, when users expand the display, the panel achieves a seamless effect, with folds barely noticeable. In order to enable this panel to fold out very smoothly and freely, we made a lot of innovations in structure and screens. First, infinite screen variations. We have to say this is really challenging. To this end, we redesigned stacking, adjusted the plan of antenna, cooling, and the layout of lens. More importantly, its power chain. We designed inside the body of the handset roll motor power train. The constant force motor inside the body drives the screen with balanced force. A 6.8 mm diameter pulley reel on one side of the body allows the screen to slide along the reel at all times. As a matter of fact, for a long period of time, the crease in the middle of the screen has always been a headache of many users. Through many experiments, we find out that to bend the screen at such a diameter causes no crease at all. So we can claim with great pride that we have eliminated the crease.
Now, as you've just seen in the video, the screen unfurls, just like a scroll being unfolded. Or just imagine, if we unfurl the scroll and spread it out on the table, the surface would be very flat and sturdy. But if we pull the scroll out in the air, it would not have any support. The same is true of scroll screens. To ensure that there is enough support underneath the screen after unfolding, we have designed an independent support structure, which is 2-in-1 plate. The cleverest part of the scheme is the 2-in-1 idea. The entire support plate is divided into two parts. When the screen is unfolded, the support plate is divided into two panels which slide out simultaneously. There is no segment difference between the two sections of the support plate to ensure adequate support for the screen out of our very precise process. But it also ensures that the left and right sides of the screen are completely flat without any traces of folding. Can you see it clearly? Maybe another time? Well, that whole process goes naturally with great elegance. In addition to the internal structure, we also modified the screen laminates. We needed the screen to achieve a bending diameter of 6.8 millimeters, and the first requirement is that we have to improve the strength of the screen, and second, there should not be any extra bounce or resilience of the screen. So, as a response, we've included the completely self-developed warp track screen overlay on the Oppo X 2021. The thinnest laminate is only 0.1 millimeters thick. Viewed from the side, warp track acts like tank tracks, firmly protecting the screen. While in the rollable screen, we can have continuously variable screen sizes. Well, just put it to our imagination. When we are watching a video, whether it has an aspect ratio of 16:9 or 4:3, we can surely have a full screen user viewing experience without black edges. Another example is when you are using when you're actually reading, and the screen can expand to the size of an e-book, giving you very comfortable reading experience. Or when you're using a browser and news apps or other similar information applications, a large screen can provide you a parallel browsing interface, enabling you to maintain the previous page while reading a new one, really saving you from the hassle of clicking back to the previous page. Alternatively, when you receive a message while playing a game in landscape view, the phone can retain the full game screen and expand to display the message dialog box above. The message can be shown in its entirety, and you can even reply to the message directly in between games without needing to exit the app. Lastly, to better match the characteristics of this continuous variable screen change, we integrate pressure-sensitive technology in the interaction. We have added two-handed grip to gently pull the screen outward to unfold and inwards to close the screen, giving you a natural and fluid process. Oppo has always believed that the mobile phones can provide you infinite values in a finite form. We can say that Oppo X 2021 rollable concept handsets is the combination of our ongoing exploration and experimentation with mobile phone form factors. In the process, we have accumulated a wealth of experiences and patents. In the development of this product, we have applied for 122 patents, 12 of which relate to the rollable mechanism in way of key patents. Oppo has kept a low profile among the wave of devices with foldable screens launched over the past year, but we have never stopped exploring. Well, we have been using this concept products to try to exemplify our consistent attitude in product innovation. Namely, we try to bring the most amazing products that best meets the user's needs. Oppo Ar Glass 2021, Oppo Cyber real-time spatial calculation app, as well as Oppo X 2021 rollable concept handsets are the three concept devices that we share with you today. We hope that in future, when the timing is right, these products will surely meet you in person. In the future, we also hope that through the 3+N+X technology development strategy, we can bring more technology products and experiences to people so that everyone can enjoy the same benefits of science and technology and maximize their potentials to get the best out of their life. Thank you again for attending the Oppo Inno Day 2020. And later on, I'd like to invite you to join us in our demo zones to really have a hands-on experience of our future technologies. Thank you.
尊敬的各位来宾 ，OPPO 未来科技大会2020主论坛到此结束，技术展区已经开放，请您携带好随身物品，移步至发布厅外场继续参观。Ladies and gentlemen, please take your belongings and continue your tour of the exhibition.